Which one? Which one's the new ruler? Oh, I'm down to. I think I'm down to 45 of them, so I'm getting low. What's the price at? Has it finally hit 35 yet, or is it still? That was the. Yeah, core TCG. Them having like a giant inventory has prevented the buyouts. So, all right, we're live. It looks like, unless I'm doing this wrong. We have 0 viewers. Your choice. Do you want it set up here? Okay, there you go. Ouch. I mean, they opened a ton hoping for that payday, and then it didn't happen. Is he? Oh, yeah. I just sold four for 100. Oops. Yeah. I just. You know what? I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm all right with it. Which one? I mean, let them buy them out. I have boxes galore of some of those sets, so I'm fine with it. Let's see, we got 0 viewers. We're very popular. Legend showed up for 5 seconds. Legends was like, "Hey, what's up? All right, I'm out." Welcome back, Legends. You feeling better? Oh, I'm a viewer. Okay, cool. Apparently, we have a viewer, but my system says I have 0 viewers. Oop. Oh, I apologize. I don't know. But what's up, everyone? I am I've never hosted before as the person in charge of the computer. So if there's anything I'm supposed to do, just tell me in chat because I have no clue how this stuff works. I'm old. What's up? I'm Robbie, Team PPG representing for, and yeah, that's it with the 22 10Ks because that's how we do it. Oh, that might be from me, my input. You said I can't hear Eddie. Hold on. So 1 second. Let me change the audio input camera. Can you hear anybody else? Nick, can you try talking? Just like tell us a story real quick. Okay. What character did he just reference if you heard it? Let's just test it. And it says turn up Eddie. I mean, that might be a me thing. There.
We can hear everyone. They're just so quiet. Yeah, they said they can hear. They said it's just quiet, so I guess you have to put the volume up.
Alright, let me just change that. Sorry, guys. Alright, audio input, audio output.
This man sent me a whole 20-minute deck profile. I posted it this morning, like, okay, I'm gonna make my fans proud. The first 5 comments, no sound, no audio, dislike. I'm like, whoa, hold on now. Smoke screen. I put Fig's deck profile up.
Did that fix it?
That man sabotaged me. All right, you guys good? You guys could hear now?
The only thing you have to do is not put Marquise. What?
X.
Alright, sound good now. Alright, cool. Alright.
There. All right. Andrew, go ahead and introduce yourself, broski. Who's in here? Oh, Legends is in here.
I'm Andrew. I just kind of hang out here. Yeah. What's up, guys?
All right. Go ahead, Legends.
I'm Legends and same.
Thanks, Legends. Thanks for backing me up.
Men of many words.
Men of many decks. Go ahead,
for anybody who don't know me, Nick Larson, one of the player initiatives on FOE. Not sure what we're going to be talking about today, but it's going to be interesting.
Marquise McKinney.
See, he called me last. I'm the black sheep of the family. Zeno Black Market. What's up, everybody?
You never heard that saying, say the best for last, man?
Nah, but that doesn't apply here. He's definitely not the best.
See, I was trying to make that man feel better, bro. But yeah, all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in tonight. So the first half of this, not the first half, but the first part of this session, we're going to be going over Robert Rietze's first place tricolor launch deck, because the original deck profile he sent me had no audio apparently. So we're gonna do this now, and then after that, we'll answer your questions, and it'll pretty much be a quick. I want to say no more than 45 minutes long for tonight, guys. Trying to keep these short, but yeah, let's get into it.
This is it. So, like I said, this is launch. The whole reason that this is a good deck is every time you combo, you don't lose a card because you're going to draw one, and then every time you flip, you generate your card advantage. So she's very similar to Pan, but she's a little bit better because you can defend your battle cards. The big things to point out in this list here that everyone likes to point out is if you're going to run my list, I run a large amount of 10Ks. That means you have to plan every hand and every interaction you're going to have to know what you're going to combo with ahead of time, and then have that in the back of your mind so you can watch your opponent and still interact with them, as opposed to just, trying to be like, oh, now we do this, now we do that, so that way you're not losing the time. A few things that make my launch deck better is, as you guys saw, it's tricolor. But that's kind of a lie. We're not really tricolor. We're really just a red-blue deck on defense, and we're a red deck with a little bit of green on offense. That's pretty much it. It's just that, so on your turn, you're using green, and on their turn, you're using your red-blue. And as long as you have that kind of mindset, go ahead.
I like the way you explained that. That was a perfect explanation, in my opinion. The way you just said it was pretty much blue for defense and green for offense. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. You never want to be, if you're using green on your opponent's turn, you probably messed up, or you're playing against like Reboot Gohan. You generally don't want to. Any of the cards that are green are meant to be casted on arrival on your opponent's turn. And we'll talk about them right now. So the best card in the deck is Hasty Dispatch. I don't know if it went up in price finally, but this card I've always thought should be like a $10, $20 card since it's never been reprint. This means that on turn 1, even if you charge a red-blue land, you can combo with one of your launches, Awaken, and then combo again with a Hasty Dispatch, and then you'll be able to summon a character for free on your turn 2. That means you'll have the ability to play Piccolo Jr. right away on turn 2. and you get to just have that ability to start off drawing 2 cards and doing a damage to your opponent. That may not sound amazing, but it's a lot better because once you do that, your opponent has to have a removal spell, and if they don't, they have to try to combo out of it. And like we talked about already, you combo for free. The whole purpose of this deck is to draw 4 beans. That is actually all you're trying to do. Everyone thinks this is a really complicated deck. It's not. Once you have all 4 beans in your hand, that is your turn that you're going to kill them. That's all you're trying to do. Just old school strategy from the days when we had flute. And so that way you're going to have a ton of energy on that turn, and you're just going to keep devoting resources, and they won't be able to stop you. It doesn't always work like that, as you can imagine. You'll notice that there's a lot of free interactions. So, for example, when you activate the super combo, if it's your second card that you've activated, so you've already flipped, you'll still draw a card, and then you can arrival cards like Hercule and Boo, who will also be free. So you're not losing any cards while maintaining card advantage. And that's the big part of why it did well. It does very well against the normal versions of Mecha Frieza. If they play the Lord Slug variant, it's harder. But when it's on your turn, you really want to focus on arriving in Gogeta or Champa to be able to give whatever card's attacking more pressure and double strike. And that's pretty much it.
Interesting. Any changes you think you'd make to the main? Like, how did the Mecha Barracks work out for you in the main deck?
So Mechabura, I wish I owned a fourth. I only owned 3. I was dumb. Only bought 3. I think actually from Rishi when he had them cheap. The card's amazing, especially in this leader, because you can filter out cards early game. Like on turn 1, you may not defend from an attack, and you may not flip if you're trying to make sure you're flipping in the proper sequence to be on Awakened on your opponent's turn. And then ending the turn awakened so that way you can be unawakened on your turn. So you might just combo a Mechabura just to filter. And it's really good. It's really good against Mecha Frieza, Red Brawly, Dark Brawly, and Vegex was even decent. So it just slows stuff down. I believe it even works on Hachiyak. I wasn't sure. I didn't name it because I wasn't sure how the interaction works, whether or not they can still activate the negate skill. If anybody knows, let me know. But
yeah, you can. It just goes to the drop.
yeah, okay, that was my thinking, so I didn't bother. So good, I was right. So the big change is actually here. This is no longer public. That's the issue. So, oops. So the list became non-public. Sorry about that if you were looking for it. But if you look at my decks, I have the updated version of what we run now for to change it. And it's just very simple. We go up to 4 Dispo. We cut Infernal Cell, because like I said, we don't need that green, except for 1 copy. And we go up. Go ahead.
You went from 4 to 1 quick. Go ahead.
Yeah, I did. Well, just nobody else seems very aggressive. I had 4 when I thought we were in an aggro format, and it feels like we're in mid-range. So I don't really want the card. If you're going to be aggressive against me, I want to combo against like your critical guys, and the idea was that I could just outvalue you over time. But Champa and Beerus I want as a 4, and that was kind of where I decided I needed some 5Ks to be able to play this more often. If I think it was on stream, I'm not sure, but I was playing against somebody who had Supreme Kai, and they attacked with their Supreme Kai before blowing up my like 7-card board, and I was tapped out. And he just went in for that 1 damage. So I Divine Beerus, I double beamed, and I arrivaled 2 coolers, negged his board, negging obviously Supreme Kai, and then with the last energy open, I arrived Champa and blew it up. So that felt cool to kill an SER with 4 cards. Not amazing to say the least, but at least you can do it. And that's the changes. And also, Intensifying Trunks finally is no longer in my deck. It's Saiyan Kaba now. That feels bad to say.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. That's a shock. So when did the Unisons come in?
The Unison is for Reboot Gohan. If it's best of 3, I respect it. Against Mecha Frieza, if they're playing a Unison that's not Vegeta, you want to bring it in. The one that draws a card continuously. It's worth it to bring in for that matchup. And Dark Brawly, you can bring it in. if you think that the player has a very unique build, because it's pretty good to have the ability to block a life whenever you want it. Um, and I'd run more Violent Rays, but I sold them to Legends when they were $25. So I only have two. So, and I did not want to spend $50 on them. But I would have more of those in my sideboard. If you guys saw the finals when I was playing against Dark Brawly, I had 8 cards left in my deck, and I had to keep drawing, even though I was like getting dangerously low to milling myself out, just to draw that Violent Ray. Otherwise, he would have won. And then finally, the eighth card left. It was a Violent Ray, and I turned off his turn 4 and then killed him with the good old Fu the Dark Banisher, who I love, and still don't own foils of because I'm cheap.
Yeah, because the commons it'll work too, brother. So we see the mine obviously mine's for the blue. Violent Rays obviously counters the meta. The food, like you said, is for Dark Broly. But talk about these Gokus real quick, man. Where are these Gokus coming?
So that's a blank space. I don't have a clue what to put here. The original idea was that we run this because we do neg your opponent's battle cards. This wasn't my idea. This is I think his name's Kriegmeyer, if I'm saying it right. If I'm not, well, I screwed it up. But he was running it, and it was a cool way to create more aggression. So you would Cooler, then drop him out, or Hercule, then drop him out. And sometimes it's a cool interaction. If I had access to blue, more of it, like as a 5K, I could honestly see arriving Hercule Boo on your turn, getting to play this for free, and then at the end of turn getting to bounce this card. So it'd be just like a free attack. It wouldn't be terrible. But when you're tricolor, you're kind of running out of space. Apparently, it's kind of hard. So.
Oh, yeah. Pretty impressive. Any last comments you want to give
Um,
about the deck?
Just you really got to plan your next turn. Marquise can attest to it. I screwed up I think it was turn 2 against him and comboed pretty poorly, and I think he killed me. And he said 5 minutes. I believe it. I was dead. And if you make a mistake with this deck, you catch the hands very quickly.
Yeah.
So, and if you can't charge a red blue, you really have to think more defensively. You have to plan to go later turns to win, and you don't have a lot of red blue. Like you're mulliganing just for red blue and just for Awakens. You don't care what any other card you draw is.
Hold on, is it me or you don't run super combos in here, do you?
Divine
Oh
Bears.
no, beers.
Yeah.
I'm blind.
So
I
I
get it.
wanted to run. I will say, when I ran Intensifying Trunks, I tried very hard to play red-green. I like the concept of red-green. I don't like Nappa. I think Nappa's a terrible super combo, and I think it. I don't like it. It's not my play style. I wanted to run Bulma, but I had a weird problem with Bulma. Was that this deck frequently had 7 life, and my opponent would have 2. So when I would go for that killing blow, I couldn't activate my super combo.
Gotcha.
So this became just a better card, and that's really it. This interaction right here that's really all we want. Like it's weird to be running blue. It's kind of like Ryuku when I had my regional win list. Blue is just there to have access to Bean. This is the same idea, but with Mecha Frieza being able to tap your energy, Bean isn't enough. You have to be able to defend after they tap your energy, and Beerus does that for you, as Legends demonstrated so easily at the 1K.
All right, impressive. Anybody else want to chime in for this, or we're gonna move on?
Why'd you decide to switch to Kabas over Trunks?
Kaba, because critical doesn't matter anymore. Like one card,
It really doesn't.
if you're looking at it and you say something like, "Oh, I have 10 cards in my hand and you have 8," that used to really matter. Like there used to be times when we used to be like, "Oh, it's this one more card really matters." But because of the amount of resources that this deck can abuse, especially, cards don't matter that much. Like one of my rounds was against the French guy. I can't remember his name. He was a good player, but he kept asking me how many cards are in my hand, and I was like, if you want to keep track of it, like he was just verifying it all the time. When I played this in real life, like on the webcam, And I was like, man, if you just want to put a dice down, or I can put a dice down to keep it track for you. He's like, well, your hand keeps changing size so much. And I was like, well, yeah, that's the format now. Like, 9 cards can kill you, 3 cards can kill you. Like, you just got to focus on how many resources you have. Once you get past 4 life, I will say, 4 to 5 life is the magic number for launch. And so with saying Kaba, you can kind of late game. It's still a very valuable resource to try to like go in for that final kill. But then unisons are kind of a problem for this deck, and so we just switched to that because if you play any blue unison during my turn when I want to kill your stuff, you can just pop my arrival back to my hand for free. And if I only had one Divine Beerus, I'm screwed.
Yeah,
Could you
makes
not
sense.
play the same arrival? That's fair enough. Yeah, you just out of energy.
Well, yeah.
makes
It's
sense.
just I have to have the bean as well. So now we're getting to the more of these like. Obviously, if I
Gotcha.
have a god hand, I don't have to worry
Yeah,
about it.
especially
But if I
if
only
Beerus
have
is on defense.
if I have
Yeah.
if I have one Divine Beerus and they have one Trunks, I'm out. My super combo, and I'm not stopping whatever I'm afraid of. And they didn't spend any resources besides a card from their hand.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and I agree with card gamers. Damage output right now is a lot more important than critical, which I never thought would be. Like, it's a whole new game. Like, in the days of Flute, I actually ran Trunks over Kaba. I mean, we ran both, but if I had the choice between playing Trunks first, I'd be much more excited about playing Trunks because the early game critical was so relevant with the Flute deck.
Hence why we swing with 30Ks and say no combos. Yeah, I agree.
Ah, the good old days.
Yeah. All right. Very impressive. Let's see if we have any questions from the comments. All right, guys. What do you guys want us to answer? You have, I think, 7 of us. This is like some free chicken for you guys, man. So let's get into these comments right now.